It's the day we join the rest of the world in highlighting the preservation of the delicate layer of gas shielding the Earth from the sun's harmful rays. Let's use World Ozone Day to not only reflect on the work that's been done for the past 32 years to reduce the use of ozone-depleting chemicals, but also recommit to working together to stem the effects of climate change. We all have a part to play in ensuring that Jamaica continues to have a clean, healthy, natural environment. Let's do it.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, September 16. Energy Minister Favour Williams says the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, PCJ, will remain open for business until its day-to-day functions are transferred to the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. The new institutional arrangement for the PCJ was decided by the Cabinet recently. Following that decision, the ministry has reportedly taken steps to consult with the Public Sector Transformation Implementation Unit in the Finance Ministry to determine the broad framework for action. In addition, Minister Williams and the Permanent Secretary convened a meeting with the staff of the PCJ to inform them of the changes. The Energy Minister is to address the development on Tuesday in a statement to Parliament and press conference afterwards. The Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica is a statutory body under the Energy Ministry. Established in 1979, it is the parent company of the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam. Jamaicans are being called to take a stand against anything that violates good living and all forms of criminal activity. This call to action is reinforced through a national anti-violence campaign dubbed Live Good, which was launched on Friday in Top Range, Mountain View. The campaign is geared towards strengthening social inclusion in crime fighting and violence prevention and reinforcing the social contract between citizens and the state. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the initiative is also part of government's drive to encourage Jamaicans to adopt a culture of respect while resolving conflicts amicably.
We'll never get that kind of violent activity under control until the people are involved and the communities are involved. And we struggle to find how do we get that message, because while the police is required to enforce the law, the fact is if we are living good, they don't have nothing to enforce because there's no challenge out there.
Dr. Chang says the public education campaign has been activated to take the message across the island. So far, under the Live Good initiative, digital boards have been mounted in the Maypen Town Square, Sam Sharp Square, Spanish Town, Halfway Tree, and the St. William Grant Park in downtown Kingston. Murals have also been painted in 4 communities, and advertisements have been produced for mainstream and social media. The Hagley Park Road Legacy project is now approximately 80% complete. The disclosure was made by Communication and Customer Services Manager at the National Works Agency, Stephen Shaw, during a recent JIS interview. He says the drainage network is about 90% complete, with minor works to be done on the stormwater drains in the 3 miles area.
We still have some drainage features that we need to tidy up, and once all of those things which are precursor items to the final lift of asphalt, then we will move quickly to have the roads paved, the markings done, the cat size installed, all the permanent features in respect of the traffic signals installed and commissioned into service, so that the public can have the full benefit of the improvement works that we have undertaken here.
The Hagley Park Road project is one of 5 legacy projects being undertaken by the government under the Major Infrastructure Development Program, MIDP. The National Water Commission, NWC, is reporting a slight increase in water levels at the Mona Reservoir and the Hermitage Dam due to recent rainfall across the island. NWC President Mark Barnett says the Mona Reservoir is now up to 31% from 26%, while the Hermitage Dam registered a 2% increase to move up to 44%. Mr. Barnett was speaking at a JIS think tank on Thursday. He says while the marginal increase is positive, it is not enough to significantly address the country's current water demand.
We did not receive, as we would have customarily received, our secondary rain period in May, April, May, June. We usually span just about those 3 months. Sometimes rain starts in April, sometimes it starts in May, goes on into June. We did not receive what we would have considered the adequate quantum of water that would help to replenish our storage. And so when you come out of the longest dry period, so the longest dry period is really from December all the way up to April. That's just about 4 months. No rainfall, your dry period continues, and it continues until September. Just last weekend, we start to see some improvement.
Mr. Barnett explains that if the rainy months produce significant rainfall, the corporate area water issue is expected to improve as Kingston heavily utilizes surface water. In the meantime, he says the NWC will continue to truck water to critical institutions such as hospitals, schools, clinics, and police stations, as well as to affected residential communities. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says a robust maintenance system for equipment will be entrenched as part of public health reform. Dr. Tufton says the administration will be advancing the policy to support the mechanism, which will be overseen by the leadership within the health institutions.
Part of the reform going forward is not just to replace. And we have done the studies and we know what we need. Nearly $32 million worth of equipment is needed to put back or replace what we had acquired some 10 years ago. But a critical part of the way forward is going to have to be to maintain.
Dr. Tufton was speaking at the recent handing over of a new C-arm X-ray machine to the Maypen Hospital. He says the ministry is close to having an agreement with external suppliers to provide diagnostic services where the equipment is not available at the public facility.
What these Jamaicans will get when they come to a hospital and are treated by the public health system is not a piece of paper to say go pay, it's a piece of paper to say go do and come back, and you won't have to pay. And that, I believe, is going to go a far way to addressing the obvious anomalies and inequalities within the system.
And finally, 52 high schools are now participating in the Ministry of Education's Twinning of Schools initiative. Through the twinning process, students will be exposed to academic and extracurricular programs that are not currently available at their own schools. Among the participating schools are Ardennes High, Pembroke Hall High, Haile Selassie High, Campion College, and Holy Trinity High in Kingston and St. Andrew. The news was revealed by Minister with Oversight for Education, Carl Samuda, during the official launch of the 2019-2020 school year at Ardennes High last week.
The fear that a lot of people might have privately, that it's a cultural crossover. It isn't. It isn't at all. Because there are many students at this institution that is considered an Ivy League institution that are from the same communities of those from Kingston High and Haile Selassie.
He says the initiative will positively change the perceptions held about some schools.
What our mission is to make sure that those schools are improved to a level where when a student or a parent sees that their child has been assigned to that school, there is no apprehension.
He says the program also aims to give teachers and student leaders an opportunity to share ideas and best practices with their colleagues in other institutions. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Jamaica's beauty is our duty. Prevent bushfires during the windy, dry season. Remove firewood, dried grass, or bush away from your house. Never use fires to clear land. Never light a fire in an open area when it's windy. Ensure cigarette butts, matches, or other lighting materials are out before disposal. And use an ashtray. Don't throw cigarette butts out of your window. High winds and dry conditions can be a fiery combination. Lend a hand. Protect our land from fires.
Trees are the Earth's lungs. They absorb carbon dioxide and produce oxygen. Join me as I look at one special tree that blooms an alluring red, yellow, or orange flower. During a stroll down any Jamaican road in the summer, prepare to be stunned by the natural beauty of one of the planet's most beautiful trees. Its flaming red, orange, or yellow flower sets it apart from the other flora around. When the wind caresses its umbrella-shaped crown, its pods make an enthralling sound. Oh yes, you've encountered the prismatic Poinciana.
It's a very popular tree in Jamaica, and it's been planted for over 100 years.
Delonix regia is a flowering member of the bean family. It's known here in Jamaica as the Royal Poinciana. Other parts of the Caribbean call it flamboyant, flame of the forest, or flame tree. A native of Madagascar, a country off the coast of the African continent, this striking plant is a feature of many Caribbean landscapes. It is also common in the tropical parts of Asia, the Pacific, and Australia, as well as North, Central, and South America. The Royal Poinciana is the official tree of Key West, Florida. It has also been the long-standing national flower of St. Kitts and Nevis. Not surprising then that it would take its name from the man who is believed to have introduced the plant to the region, St. Kitts and Nevis's first French governor, Philippe de Poincy.
It came to us via St. Kitts and was introduced at around the same time that Castleton was formed as a botanical garden. So it got here at the same time with some other legumes, meaning trees that are in the bean family. So it's in the same section of the bean family as, say, thinking toe, which a lot of people know, and logwood.
This evergreen plant grows tall and fast, reaching heights of up to 12 meters in 6 years under favorable conditions. The Royal Poinciana's trunk can be wide but not overly large, as it produces a light, flimsy wood. Its bark is usually smooth and straight, but may extend into several stalks and grows low with regular pruning. The tree's big green buds burst open to reveal large, showy, pentamerous petals, complete with its fruit protruding through its center. This legume starts out soft, small and green, then ripens into a long, hard wooden brown pod.
The seeds are large, which means that they have enough food stored to just exist in a room at ambient temperature.
The plant grows easily from seeds or cuttings. As a member of the legume family, the leaves of the Royal Poinciana are compound in nature, comprising of several little leaflets. These fern-like leaves form a dense, unmistakable umbrella-like canopy, a well-needed respite from the hot summer sun.
Because the flowers are so showy and conspicuous, lots of people like to plant it. Over the years, we have had it in many parks, and it has generally reproduced itself in any possible space that it finds suitable.
Though revered for its ornamental quality, the pods of the Royal Poinciana are also ideal for art and craft. You can make necklaces, bracelets, or art pieces by dabbing it with some paint. You may get a percussion instrument by shaking the pods, or you can make an actual marker by placing the seeds into a calabash.
There are also studies of the chemical compounds found in the seed, but that's strictly an academic exercise. I gather from some searches that some folks in the Central American area use it medicinally.
If you're interested in brightening up your piece of the rock with this flaming forest flower, then here are some things you may need to know. While incomparable in its beauty, the Royal Poinciana is an insect magnet. It's prone to termite infestation and has its own caterpillar that turns into a moth along its bark. And this tree sheds, so depending on how you view the world, it could be a messy pile of flowers or your own summer snow. Due to its dense shade, the Royal Poinciana may prevent the growth of other trees. Its extensive root system may also pose a threat to your sidewalks.
It's a tree that needs to be tended if you're going to put it in your yard, but it's worth it because in a good year of blooming, it is rather spectacular.
If you're still mesmerized by this statement piece, you may purchase a plant with a color of your choosing from the forestry department.
Water is precious. So we encourage everyone to practice the 4 R's of water conservation. Always remember to reduce your use of water wherever possible. Replace water wasting devices with water savings devices. Reuse water wherever possible. And wherever leaks are found, please repair them and repair them quickly.
Don't delay. Practice the 4 R's of water conservation today.
Jamaica has been making significant strides in confronting the dangers of plastic waste. On January 1 this year, we imposed a ban on certain single-use plastic bags and straws, as well as styrofoam containers. Take a look at why the move was necessary.
The earth is under attack, and unless we arrest this problem, we will be in serious trouble.
The rapid growth of plastics is threatening the survival of the planet, from littering our beaches and landscape to clogging our landfills and poisoning and injuring marine life.
When the plastic makes its way out to sea, what tends to happen is it breaks up into little smaller pieces, but it doesn't disappear. It's still there in the marine environment. It's still there in the sea. The fish eat it, the marine animals eat it, and then it becomes a part of them. Plastic has become a part of our marine life. And then, of course, we as humans eat those fish, and then we have essentially ingested plastic. And there's all types of toxins and chemicals that are associated with plastic that you don't want in your body. Plastic causes serious problems in our environment. Every piece of plastic that was ever produced on this earth still exists in some way, shape, or form. So we really need to do our part in reducing the amount of plastic that we produce. You don't need a plastic bag or a plastic container every single time you go to the supermarket. In terms of reusing, a lot of the time we get takeout or even things like margarine and those types of products. They come in plastic packaging that can be reused. So you can reuse those containers for other purposes after you're finished with them, rather than throwing them away.
If you walk down the street in your communities, across the length and breadth of the island, you will notice something that is most common: plastic, plastic, and more plastic. It is the most littered item in our country and the world, burying the planet and our livelihoods under waste. The problem is mostly due to the unbiodegradable nature of plastic. Simply put, it does not rot, which means we are creating everlasting rubbish in huge and unsustainable amounts. But the good news is, you, all of us, can fix this growing problem. Here's how.
The Jamaica Environment Trust, we have a recycling depot at our office at 123 Constant Spring Road, unit number 5. We're in the vicinity of Steelcraft Furniture Land, right off of Constant Spring Road. You can bring your plastics here. We take 2 types of plastic, type 1 and type 2. And the easiest way to identify what type of plastic you have is to look at the bottom of the bottle. So the clear plastic bottles, your soda bottles, your water bottles, these are your type 1 plastic. When you're talking about the more opaque bottles, the ones that you can't see through, right? Household cleaners, bulk syrup, those kind of bottles, that's the type 2 plastic. And we're one of several depots that are located mostly in Kingston, but there are a few outside of Kingston. All of this is really supported by Recycling Partners of Jamaica, so they are our big partner in this. Recycling Partners of Jamaica, of course, is a public and private sector partnership. So you have a lot of the distributors of products that are, found in these types of packaging, partnering with the government of Jamaica to facilitate recycling in Jamaica. We're open Monday to Saturday. The gate opens at about 8:30, 9 o'clock on these days, and we're closed by about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
So, the next time you decide to discard of your plastic, do it the correct way. Go for paper and other biodegradable materials when you can. And let's make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business in a sustainable way.
Though we're in the 3rd week of September, it's still not too late to start school. Find out how you can improve yourself with professional development courses next.
Established in 1994 as the premier government training institution and later as an executive agency of the government, the Management Institute for National Development, MIND, stands tall as a crucial driver to the transformation and modernization of the public sector in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean.
MIND is really the outgrowth of a combination of public sector entities. And the individuals who were very crucial in the formation of MIND and bringing the various entities together were Dr. Garnet Brown and Dr. Carlton Davis.
MIND continues to add to national development by providing the Jamaican public sector with quality leadership development options, management training, supporting services, and outreach that sustain a culture of enterprise, efficiency, and responsiveness to the publics they serve.
Training and development is really the heart of public sector transformation, and so we saw the need to bring a more coordinated and structured approach to how it is that we facilitated learning and development across our public service and how we would want to see that supporting public sector transformation now and in the years ahead. And so, working with key stakeholders across the public service, we created the public sector learning framework. As a country, we want to be dynamic, and being dynamic means that we are going to have to keep in step with all the changes around us, and we need our public sector to be constantly developed so that we can transform as a public sector to be responsive to the needs of our citizens and to a developing economy and towards developed country status as well.
Registered with the University Council of Jamaica UCJ as a tertiary level institution, the programs and courses at MIND are offered at the certificate, diploma, Associate of Science degree, and postgraduate diploma levels. Yes! Over 50 individual offerings of programmed courses run throughout the year, utilizing the face-to-face and/or online delivery modality, in addition to those learning interventions that are facilitated in a customized format.
Here at MIND, we use a competency-based education and training philosophy. What that simply means is that our participants, having completed a program here at MIND, they're able to go back to their organizations immediately to transfer that learning. We have 3 product lines: scheduled programs, where we deliver over 50 programs and courses on an annual basis, and that is presented to the public through a schedule of learning products. And so they'll look to see what are the product offerings and they can access those programs and courses. However, you have some of our clients who want something done specific to them. So we design, develop, and deliver those programs under a customized brand. We also have our consultancy arm of the business. And with that, we respond to terms of references that will be advertised by our public sector stakeholders in the newspaper or on the online portal, or some of them will contract us directly.
MIND is pleased to introduce its newest product line, MindReach, which is aimed at empowering unreached and underserved stakeholders. Through this medium, MIND is able to connect with its local communities through various developmental and transformational projects. The institution's partners include Caribbean Leadership Project CLP, Center for Creative Leadership CCL, National College for Educational Leadership NCEL, Cave Hill School of Business and Management, Jamaica Civil Service Association JCSA, Strategic Human Resource Management Division in the Ministry of Finance and Public Service SHRMD, and ministries, departments, and agencies of government.
The time that I spent at MIND and the subjects that I was exposed to, I mean, they have tremendously helped me in carrying out my work. I am considered a good leader in the JSF, or an outstanding leader, and it is as a result of my exposure to this training at MIND.
Having joined the Jamaica Fire Brigade in 1995, having understanding of my job, I realized that I would want to be a supervisor very soon. So I went seeking a course that I could do just to elevate myself. I went over to the MIND office in Montego, and the greeting and the welcome from the staff there was very encouraging. They gave me an entire manual to go through to see what I needed to do. My decision to attend MIND was the best decision I could have made as a young public sector worker. I encourage every public sector worker to seek out MIND, look at their programs, select something. There is something there for you.
MIND has solidified its mark as a center for excellence and continues to facilitate capacity building for national development and the continued transformation of the Jamaican public sector.
I choose MIND.
I choose MIND, and so should you.
I feel so privileged to represent the MIND.
For more information, contact us at 876-927-17613. Visit our campuses in Kingston and Mandeville, or our website at www.mind.edu.jm.
And that's where we leave you on today's Jamaica Magazine. Do join us again tomorrow around about the same time on the station. We maintain an active online presence, so connect with us on jis.gov.jm, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our YouTube channel. You can also download our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.